Hello everyone, I'm Malaceo and welcome back to my channel. Today is the fifth day of Vlogmas and I'm going to start talking about um, pretty much how I got myself out of debt and how important it is to have yourself out of debt before you want to leave to go overseas. So with going overseas, you don't want to have more bills than you need. Okay. So with me becoming debt free, that included me selling my car. So my car for me was a major staple in my life. It was my favorite color. I might put it like in the video or in like the thumbnail and stuff like that. But I just didn't want to let go of the car like at all. Like that was supposed to be, well, it was like my dream car. I love this car. It literally fit my personality to a T. Like, and I feel like a lot of times when people get to that threshold or they make like a goal, they just want to keep on going. But things occurred in my life where I'm like, you know what? All the reasons, not just for myself, but just for future reasons, like I was planning on handing that car down to, my kids. I was That was going to be like the main car. Like that car, I did research about like even how the back seats were, for like storage, like all this stuff, a versatile type of car, but also something that I can enjoy and is fun, and it has like a touch of elegance to it, but sporty. And it was I sold it, so it was like I think they call it's a golden, golden yellow 2021 inline Hyundai Sonata. So yeah, so I had to like sell it, and even with selling it, I had maybe I owed like, because I got the car brand new. And the reason I got the car brand new is because I thought, like I said, I was going to keep the car till the end of time, till the wheels fall off. So that didn't happen, obviously. And sometimes when you have to give up something that you really, really love, it's like it was it was very surreal for me. Like I cried. I'm not gonna lie. I cried. Like I watched the guy like from Carvana come and pick it up and stuff like that. But I would have to say maybe like a week after that, when my debt was cleared for the remaining balance that I had, and even with the savings that I had, I paid off the balance of what the car was worth from when I bought it versus the worth of the car as far as like Kelly Blue Books and stuff like that. And when I looked at it, I'm like, I am completely debt free. So for me, I never been a person to accumulate debt, but that doesn't mean that people around me aren't reliable in that aspect. So when you try to help people and be there for people, sometimes, well, a lot, well, sometimes, let me say that it doesn't work in your benefit when you're financially responsible or just responsible in any way and you care. So pretty much I removed the baggage and I have released myself from the treachery of people who don't give a about credit score. And the funny thing about it is like once you go overseas, credit scores don't really matter, but still you don't want to have a bad credit score just in case you come back. If you have a bad credit score, that's an indication that there is financial mishaps. Like, for example, that you have debt and you can't pay off the debt. You can't pay, um, or you can't keep up with your lifestyle, essentially, to some extent. So I just had to, you know, hunker down. I sold my car so I would be able to save money. So for me, I am trying and I have been succeeding since I sold my car, saving around $2,000 a month. And hopefully I will be around 17 to $21,000 before I actually leave. And I want it to be 17 to $21,000 after I buy the plane ticket, after I buy my suitcases, my trying to get like the updated phone for like pictures and stuff like that, and just, you know, rounding up everything, like all the tech and all the stuff that you know you need or whatever. Have all of that stuff taken care of. But even when you're dealing with, you know, credit and debt, I feel like it's a good thing to have your credit as high as you want it to be or how high you need it to be before you leave. But then you also, and this is what I just learned from Exodus Summit, is that you can freeze your credit. So nobody, there is no chance or anything like that that somebody can come in and be like, oh, okay, I'm just going to use this person's credit or whatever. Um, Especially for me, I am going to be vlogging and telling people and showing people, you know, where I'm at. I might not be there currently. Like, I'm not going to do it, you know, I ain't going to tell you exactly where I'm at. I might say the country or the city, but I ain't telling you exactly where I'm at. But with that information, people see, and then they'll be like, okay, let me go and see if I can do this because this person is out of the country for an extended period of time. But when you freeze your credit, you know, there's nothing that can happen with your credit score at all. And you don't need your credit score for renting an apartment or doing any of that stuff for the most part when you go overseas. And even I can say dealing with debt a lot of times, um, you just got to have your big goal and you need to plan it to the best of your ability because you don't want to pay those interest rates. You don't want to get yourself in a position where you're giving yourself another bill every month, you know? Um, I'll also keep your credit cards because you can still have your credit cards for emergencies, which that's what I'm doing. Um, I do use my credit cards on a regular basis for points and stuff like that. So I even elevated using my cards because I do pay them off every month before I get the statement. So all of the stuff is like taken care of, and I also get the points on top of that. So eventually I can get some money back, you know, on the back end, you know. I have a business card and I have a regular checking account and savings account. So with all the stuff that's combined, it's just it's good enough to be like, okay, I don't have to pay for this car. I don't have to pay for the insurance. I don't have to make sure that someone is taking care of the car. I don't have to worry about paying my credit card debt off. Like, it's a weight off of your shoulders because you don't have to worry about payments. And also, um because I was in the military and stuff like that, I don't have no student loan debt or anything. Like, I am completely, and I do mean completely debt free. Um, and this credit score is up there, girl. So I'm gonna clock that in. And another thing that I like to do is when you're overseas, I do have I'm gonna get another debit card. So if I use, it's gonna be a debit card that I specifically use at ATMs or use for apps like that, you know, other apps. I forgot the Chinese one, but it's like you can't really pay for anything unless you have that Chinese app. I forgot what the name of it was, but that card that the new card that I'm going to be getting, um, you know, regular checking account, that card will be connected to anything that I will be using to pay it. All of my consistent auto pay bills, pretty much all my auto pay bills is pretty much has to do with my business. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Um, my business and my cell phone slash internet, which I did get Google Fi, and I can talk about that later if you guys want. I didn't want to really gamble with, you know, am I gonna sit there and try to get a eSIMs and stuff like that for every time I go somewhere? No, I don't want to do that. Overall, like, I feel like it's like very like simplified, but my thing is you have to at least, like, I understand if you have like student loan debts and stuff like that's a very long tumultuous relationship from what I've understood from other people. But if you can pay all your stuff off, especially credit cards, anything with like auto loans, home loans unless you're getting money coming out of it, like where you can like rent out the house and you got like money coming in for that. You don't want to have to worry about it, you know. So that's just my, I guess, what I wanted to talk about today. It's pretty simple. um I don't know, I don't want to feel like I'm like, bragging and stuff, but like, I mean, for me, it was like how I was like brought up. It was like how I was raised. Like, you know, my parents were very much like, be financially savvy and stuff like that. And, with the next generation, which is me, from my parents or whatever, is not just being in good standing with your credit score and your finances and your savings, but the next step for me also would be investing. I have no idea what to do with investing. Um, but I do know some people who do. So I will be contacting them once I get everything sort of smoothed out, because time is flying. Like we almost, like we're like one weekend to December. And then a week after that, we're halfway through December. And then after that, it's Christmas. And then it's New Year's. Oh, like I'm excited and giddy, but it's like, how you're scared, but it's not like you're scared because you don't want to go or it's something that you don't want to do. It's just the unknown about it. Even though I was in the Navy, it's like, but when you choose to go somewhere and it's all up to you, it's just like this nervousness of like, what am I going to find? What am I going to see? What am I going to like pop up on or whatever. So yeah, that's my vlog today, talking about debt and why it's important to be out of debt. And should I make a more detailed video about how to get out of debt and how to, I guess, get your finances and stuff together? Because a lot of times you can't have, you have to live a minimalistic lifestyle. That's why I think all of this comes down to minimalistic lifestyle. Like I said, and I'm out here, like in the suburbs, like metro Atlanta, which is for a lot of people who come from the cities, it's the country to y'all. But to us, it's the suburbs. So it's sacrifice. Like I already have to work on stuff anyway, and I knew that I just couldn't pick up and leave. So I just had to like bite the bullet, because I knew that, me not paying, because for the car it was like maybe $527 a month. Um and then you pay for gas, and then pay for car insurance, and that was like $700. Some of these places you could stay at and like live like a decent life. Like go somewhere for coffee every now and again, go see a movie, go walk around, like not have to work. A lot of the places you can live like a middle class life that you can have here, you can live somewhere else for $700. Okay. So I feel like it's about the sacrifices you're going to make, and truly investing and believing in investing into your new life. Okay. So I believe y'all can do it. If I gave up, her name was Vegas. If I can give up Vegas, you can give up that shopping. You can give up going to that club. You can give up going to that meeting. If you do go to a restaurant for like a birthday or like a special event, you don't have to buy that liquor. You don't have to buy that shrimp and grits. You don't have to buy, okay. And I'm like, I'm speaking to y'all, but I'm speaking to me. But still, I'm just saying, think about it. If you invest your time and you put into like, especially if you start making, you make Google Maps and you start like typing up stuff and be like, oh, okay, like this is the life. Like start thinking about the life and what your daily life is going to look like. You know, you even if you do start a business or you still work, be like, oh man, I can go and watch a movie every day after work. Oh, I can go to like this place to get a cooking class or whatever, after I take this one or these two clients or whatever. So it's all about, what you really want to do. And you got to put your foot to the fire and you can do it. You just got to believe in yourself and you got to make sacrifices. And you can't be like, oh, what if I don't? What if I? Well, you ain't if you don't make those sacrifices. Okay. All right.